What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic. And today's beautiful project, this is the Volkswagen Beetle, the Baja Edition, looking pretty awesome. Wrong screen, don't want to be there, but there we go. Volkswagen Beetle Type 1, the Baja Edition. We got ours from the auction house, and it's not bad, in all honesty. I'm quite pleased with the quality of all the stuff going on there. Did we get a good deal? Absolutely not. I bought it for 21,846 and could sell it for 18,132, losing out on 3,714. Hopefully, we'll be able to claw that one back by the end of today's episode. The engine in this one is the B6 M6 4.01 with 112 factory horsepower. We will be increasing that as much as we can, trying to make this Beetle as powerful and as fast as we can, ready to take on the gravel track. Are we going to be able to beat that Audi Quattro VM Rally with a 141.676 on the flying lap? We'll have to find out by the end of today's episode. Before we move on, I've put it in finally, the show car board. Let's just go into photo mode and jump up in the air just a little bit there. And we can see we've got the two cars in there that we've added so far. The Bolt Chapman VM Slammed, which had 2 votes and came out with an average of 9.5 out of 10. And then the BMW M4 Gumball, which had 4 votes, coming in at 8.25 out of 10. 2 out of 10 on this board so far. We are going to bit of decoration around it. Maybe some Polaroid images of some of the completed cars at the top there, or just some images of some of the completed cars. Looking awesome, but there we go. Jump back down. That's that done. Just going to jump in to say huge congratulations to Multi for winning the BMW M4 competition with this beautiful example with a twin-turbo BU2 engine. Absolutely fantastic. Good job on there. Looking perfect. And before we move back to today's project, one thing I've realized I keep talking about but not really showing that often is our lap time at our speeder board, our drag racing league speeder board. We talk about it all the time because we always go drag racing, but I don't come back here that often unless we add something to it. And I'll be honest, this top 10 is quite hard to beat. 7.756 is the lowest quarter mile time on there to beat that. And obviously at the top end, 6.884 from the Lamborghini Nitro Tractor. Absolutely incredible. Then we got the Batmobile Speederball Crusher at 6.956 just down here. And then the Alenti Calope VM Drag Edition, 3rd place on there with a 7.208. We don't talk about that board. Well, we talk about the board a lot, but we don't see it. So there you go. That's what's in the top 10. There's almost 100 cars on this board in total. But back to today's video, we need to crack on with this little beast. So let's get on with it. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with our Herbie liveried Beetle. It's definitely not going to stay with that one. But let's get it cleaned, get the dust and grime off of there. A little bit jumpy as we go. Still love the Beetle. I think this one looks absolutely fantastic. But there we go. Let's get the interior done. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that B6 engine ripped out of there. And start stripping everything down. The Beetle's up in the air. First things first. Let's check for the oil pan. It's a split engine. There isn't actually an oil pan, but we need to get it drained anyway. So let's get in underneath and get you drained out. And then see what we've got going on. Quite dirty, but there was a little bit in there. So, you know, plenty to talk about. Let's get it underneath. It is rear-wheel drive. Is it rear-wheel drive or is it four-wheel drive? Looks like it's just rear-wheel drive. I'm not 100% on that. We will find out later. But these drive axles, sadly, don't quite connect up. Payne. Bit disappointed there. But anyway, let's get in and get these wheels and drive axles off. And I'll be right back. That's the wheels and drive axles off. Let's get back in. We need to get this starter out of here. And then this lovely gearbox with the rusty bolt. Out you come, nice and simple. And then we should, maybe, do we have to take these exhausts out? We'll take them. No, they're just straight up manifolds, so we shouldn't need to take them out. Let's just try and rip them out with the engine as we get it down on the ground. Go and grab the engine crane, and let's give this a go. Can we pull you out without doing anything? We can indeed. That's what we like. Crane put away. And then let's see what we've got going on inside the engine bay. Well, the oil filter is up here, along with the oil plug and the dipstick. So a nice little set up there. Are we missing anything? That is the engine. That's part of the engine. So then we've got the battery just up here. What else have we got? Fuel tank and a fuse box. A lid off the fuse box. Is that really it? Is that all we have to go in the Beetle? Not much in here. It is old school, though, so it does kind of make sense. So let's grab this fuel pump out. We've got no liquids to drain. No power steering reservoir, no coolant reservoir, no wishy-washy reservoir. Although we have obviously drained the oil. But there we go. Bit surprised by that one. So now let's crack on. Let's get all of this stripped out. When we come back, be time to work on the beautiful bodywork for this Baja Beetle. Getting this all looking lovely. And then into the paint shop. That's all the mechanicals repaired, replaced, or upgraded. Ready to go back on the beautiful Baja Beetle. But now we need to sort out the bodywork. So let's start getting this off. Out you come there. Off with these front fenders, which do look pretty awesome. Out with the hood. What else have we got at the front? Doesn't look like a lot. Off with the door trim. Trim is a piece. There we go. Nice and easy. Out you come. Rear window. Oh, side skirt. The nice metal railings on there. Rear fender and light comes out with there. Rear bumper. Rear window. Fender and light again. Nice and easy. Body window. I'm not going to say bay window, I promise. And then out with that front door. And that looks to be everything. I'm not 100%, but let's get in and get this interior out. I do like that steering wheel and the seat combination. So we'll probably be sticking with that. Just tidying it up and maybe add a few little colours later on. Have we got everything, though? Don't want that screen. 1% on there and nothing showing up in there. So we have got everything. Frame is at 34%. And we bought the car for a little over 21,000. So what have we got? What do we reckon for the Baja Beetle? Is it going to sell for a lot or not so much? I'm going to say 900. 500. I was way off, but there we go. Let's jump in and check out the body shop for the Beetle. Not too many different options. Only 5 pages on this one. And there we go. Left side skirt Baja. Right side skirt Baja. So we know that. Then we've got window trim back, window trim front only. Can I get rid of window trim? Okay. We will see what that is a bit later on. Front bumpers, that's probably going to be what we end up with, but I'm not 100% sure. And probably black trim on the doors because we like that. Fenders, we've got the specific Baja fenders, so we know we're going to be using them bad boys on there. Choice of hoods, a few different options on there to play around with. Maybe one of the carbon ones, I'm not sure. Then we've got probably, I think it's these headlights we're using on this one because are we using Fenders E? We are. So they go with that one for the Baja edition. Rear lights, obviously the Baja lights, nice and simple on there. We've got some rear bumpers. Probably this piping is what we'll go for the rear end of our Baja Beetle. Rear fenders, obviously Baja editions. We don't want a roof rack, a surfboard. Probably not a drag ring, wing. So just the normal rear bumper on there. Choice of mirrors, so we can pick whichever one we like on there. And then a choice of trunk as well. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a play around with them. But I definitely think the front window, it needs to, or the windshield needs to be that light bar one on there. So we've got plenty of options, really. Most of it is as it is and needs to go back together like that to work for the specific model. But there is still a few bits you can play around with. So we're going to have some fun with that. Get this beast back together, get it into the paint shop, and pick a livery. Let's get in and get the Baja Beetle all back together then and into the paint shop to see what we're going to do with the livery today. Now, obviously, all of these fenders are the Baja edition pieces. The headlights are the ones that go with Fender E's, which are the Baja fenders, obviously. Looking nice on there. Not sure if I like them in chrome. May try and colour them a little bit later. Front bumper is obviously that bumper E with the sort of ram bar, I guess you would call it. For the hood, we went for hood C, which has got the louvered vents, but still with the Volkswagen badge just on the top there, looking nice. Windshield, obviously the one with the light bar in there. And then for the trim, if I could select it, there we go, car part 3. We went for the black trim on there. Obviously, you know me, I do like a bit of black trim. Also, black trim on the doors. In you go. Then we've got the windows, nice and easy. The mirrors, we went for the carbon fibre square ones. I just think they fit a bit more with the off-road-esque style build. The Baja side skirts, obviously a more metal piping on there. Rear fenders, Baja fenders, rear bumper. That bumper E, obviously fitting in with the rest of the theme on there. Tail lights and Baja tail lights. And then the rear window's just the rear window. With the trunk, going for trunk B, still got them louvered vents in there. No badging, just a little bit of a chrome pull handle on there. Rear fender Baja, and then obviously the rear tail light Baja. Window in you go, a door with the black trim, side skirts of the Baja edition. And then we got the window and the square carboned off fenders, mirrors. I think that might be everything. Let's get in and get the interior back in. I did stick with the same interior, which is the beautiful steering wheel 7 on there. And the front seats are the 964 seats from the Porsche DLC. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely think we are missing a license plate, so let's get that on. Just a rear one on this one, and we went for a VM plate with a Baja B, because it is a Beetle. I guess that kind of makes sense. Baja B. Also, it sounds quite nice. It's got a nice ring to it. That's why we went for that one. But there we go. Have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100% we have. It's definitely not sticking with what little remains of this Herbie livery. Not much. We will be changing that one. So let's get it into the paint shop, and let's pick some paint. Well, here she is then, all painted, looking fantastic in the beautiful livery by A.K.A. Looking absolutely beautiful. I love this livery. I have used it once or twice before, but never on a pearl white base, which is what we've gone for today. Obviously, with the purpley blue in there, we'll definitely be using that colour a little bit later on. Plenty of blacks as well. We've got steel blacks, obviously, around the sides here. They're just that natural colour, but I did change the headlights into a steel black colour with the Quality of Life mod, just to get it to blend in a little bit more. Taking some of that chrome out of there. That's all I've changed the colour on body-wise, but if we open up the car and have a look, we've added a little bit of white to these seats, just obviously in the little ringlet parts just in there, and it does leave this a little bit brighter than normal. Maybe that's just my eyes playing tricks on me. And also black and white on that beautiful steering wheel there. And that's it. That's what we're going for. I think this livery looks absolutely fantastic. Excellent work by A.K.A. As always, a link in the description below to grab the livery for yourself. And also a link to the Beetle if you don't already have that one in your game and you're on PC playing from the Steam Workshop. So I'll include links to them down there. But let's crack on and let's start getting everything else painted and start getting this Baja B all back together, ready to take on the gravel track. That's everything painted on the Beetle. Looking fantastic. Love that livery. It looks so good. Never done it in a white and purple before, so hopefully it's going to come out looking great. But let's get started. We're getting all this suspension together, starting with our shocks. Just a cheeky little black and white on there. Very simple, very easy. Front and back, exactly the same. Looking good, though. I do like a black and white combination. It always looks fantastic. Now, let's jump in and start getting this together. Now, we've got no central piece to get in this time. No cross member for this one. So let's just get these floating bits in. We've got a purple steering rack, a lovely white front sway bar, and then the steering knuckle is in just a cheeky black on there. Now, let's get on to some clips, and let's get all this in. Well, there it is. The first half of the suspension all finished, looking lovely in that purple, black and white. Didn't think purple, black and white would come out quite as nice as it did. Obviously, the upper and lower arms in purple, the shocks in black, the spring in white, bushings are all in white, and then the brake calipers in white is there, as well as the hub. Don't know what, I can't remember what that piece is called. And the knuckle cover is in a lovely little purple. The front is exactly the same, except for the fact that it also has a white sway bar and a black sway bar end link, a purple steering rack, a black inner tie rod, and a purple outer tie rod. Looking very nice, but let's crack on. Fuel tank up we go, just in a cheeky little black, with the fuel pump also in a purple. And that is about it for the underside for the moment. So I'm going to crack on and get the other side of the suspension all finished off. Then we'll come back and sort the very minimalistic parts in the engine bay, fuse box, our battery tray, and that lovely oil filter before going and building that beautiful boxer engine. Well, that's the suspension all done. Looking fantastic in purple and white with a few splashes of black. But we need to crack on and get this engine bay all sorted out. Very few bits to go in here today, so let's get started. We've got the purple fuse box looking lovely with all the lovely fuses inside. I don't normally do this, but there is nothing else to do in the engine bay, or at least very little to do in the engine bay. So let's get it in. In you go there, and that's all you done. And then we go to the battery tray. Now we've got the billet battery tray in the purple with our performance battery on the top there. And on top, our battery tray bracket is the Volkswagen one, being that it's a Beetle. We finished it in purple. And for this one, you get the lovely deep purple on the outside and then this lighter purple on the middle, looking lovely on the Volkswagen logo. The chrome battery tray bracket rods are just blacked out, looking very, very nice. In you go, and in you go. One last piece for the engine bay, That's just up here, the oil filter in a cheeky little purple. Just finishing that bit off really well. If we come out of that screen down to the back, obviously we can see the suspension through there and that purple oil filter. If we go up to the front and open up the hood, you can't see anything. No fuse box and no fuel tank, nothing showing up. But there we go, looking beautiful. But now we need to go and build that lovely boxer engine. There she is, looking fantastic. Now, officially, the two sides of the engine block are both in black and purple. Hence, you've got all this black and purple going on here. Then we've got the engine cylinders. They're all in white and black. These back parts are black. Not that you can see them, but they are. 6 of them in total, 3 on each side. And then the engine heads are in purple and white. You get these lovely purple blocks with the white springs on these little bits here. Looking very nice. 6 of them, 3 on either side again. Then we go into the spark plugs. There is 6 spark plugs on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 in total. Then we've got a lovely little camshaft in there. Just 1 of them on either side. So 2 in total. And then the camshaft bearing on top. It says it's white purple, but it's definitely white. Just check the other side's white. Yeah, there we go. All finished on the other side there. And that's all that done. And then we can move on. Now, obviously, these timing covers, both in a cheeky little black. And then we've got cam gears, 1 on either side. In you go. Along with timing chains, 1 on either side. In you go. And a lovely pair of shoes just to finish it off. 1 on either foot. Either side. There we go. Timing cover C's. You are in white on the front there. Just adding a splash more of that white. Let's get it all on and see how good this all looks when it goes in together. Then we got our crankshaft pulley. Kept that one in a white, keeping up with that white theme. But then we got the engine block cover, which is in a black. And it's looking very nice up there. Let's just get you all bolted in and ready to go. And then we can go for this alternator, which is in a purple and white. Just a little splash of white on there. The fan cover is in white. And then the fan itself is purple and white again. Hence we get the purple roller, where all the belts are going to go. That are going to look fantastic. Blacked out belt on there. Secondary blacked out belt on there. And the third goes to the power steering pump. So let's throw you in, which we've done in the cheeky purple. Looking good. Last belt on there. That's that bit all done. And now we can get on with the distributor. In you go in your black and purple. I really think that one looks fantastic. Not much purple on it, mostly in the black, but it will look good when it's all done. The rotors aren't painted because they're going to be hidden by these lovely purple and white caps, which look fantastic, which are then held in place by some lovely white clips. On you go, on you go. 2 more, 1 there and 1 there. Yes, there is more clips to go on this build. That's why there's so many clips there. But there we go. That's the front pretty much done. So let's crack on around and get these engine head covers on. You got A and B on either side, and they are just in purple. Can't get a two-tone effect with them, even with the quality of life. They're just a solid piece, one solid colour, but they look good in that purple. So you got the black sort of like underneath in there, and you got a bit of white and the purple on top. I'm loving that. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Let's get around to the other side. Let's get you all in and up to the same place. Lots of purple, and it looks beautiful. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you. But let's get all of them in, and then we can crack on and move up a little bit. Intake manifolds, purple and white. You got the white rings around the bottom there in the white. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Loving that. Round to the other side. Let's get you in as well. Exactly the same piece, exactly the same colour. Looking very good. In you go. What should we do next? Should we get the ignition wires in as we're here? Ignition wires, they are in white and black. Tiny little splash of black just as it lips over that fan cover there. The rest of it all in white, looking very nice. Then we've got the fuel rails. They're in purple and white, keeping up with that theme. Looking very good. Around the back we go. In you go. Fuel filter in the purple, keeping up with that theme. Looking beautiful. Then we've got the throttle, which is in a purple and white, keeping up with that banding white theme there. Looking very, very nice. Over to this side, the blower is in a black and white. A few little caps on the end there, just in a lovely little white. Looking very nice. Then over to this side, the air filter cover in a black. I don't know why that's called the cover and not the base, but never mind. The air filter's in the red there, performance parts colour. And then the base, which should be the cover, also in a black. But we have lovely white clips. Here's where the other 4 clips are all going to end up. Looking very, very good. In you go, and in you go just there. We haven't really got much left to do. It's just these exhaust manifolds, so let's get them in the lovely purple. Keep it up with that. You can just about see these from the side of the car as well, so it looks pretty good. I don't know if you'll still be able to when we've got some wheels on. Hopefully you can, just a little bit, because they do look pretty fantastic. But there we go. That's the lovely boxer engine all done. Let's get it dropped into our Beetle and see how good it looks in that rear engine bay. Let's do it facing here so we can't see it. In you go. Let's get the crane put away and then spin around. That's looking pretty nice in there. The purple looks fantastic. Very, very pleased with matching that one in there. And then you've got plenty of white and plenty of black, just finishing it all off. I am incredibly pleased with that one. I think it looks fantastic. So much so I'm going to leave the trunk open. Hood, trunk, bonnet, what do we want to call that piece? Probably trunk. But never mind, let's get in and get underneath. We've got a few bits left to go. For example, this big old gearbox says it's purple, but it's white with a few little purple dips on it. Went the other way around with that one today. Then we've got the starter just up here, which is in that full purple, looking good. And then our drive shafts that don't quite connect up, but never mind, just in a cheeky black. Whoop, that's a wheel, don't want you. There we go, just that rear drive axle, please. There we go, just in the black. No more extra exhaust or anything like that. That is the exhaust tips as well as the manifold. And that's pretty much it. So let's get out. Well, we never did a walk out. Not that we can see much on the underside of this one today. Let's just go into this mode. There we go. Plenty of purple and white, black under tray, and then a few more bits of black, purple, and white as you come out the back there. Looking very good. Pleased with that. But back down you go. We need to top up the oil. Just the oil. Literally nothing else on this one today. And that is in this lovely little service set just there. So we'll crack on with that one in a minute. We need to get the windows tinted. Beautiful wheels done. And get the Baja Beetle outside in the sun. Well, here she is then, the beautiful Baja Beetle. Absolutely fantastic. The Beetle are modded in by Payne, including the Baja model. Looking fantastic. The livery by A.K.A. At least I'm sure I'm pronouncing that right. But it looks so good. Don't normally see it with a white base on the purple. I think you normally see it in like a silver, grey or a blue. But I think that looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. But there we go. Let's talk about these rims. The rim I went for today is the rim 40A. Not 40A. 40A. There we go. Not 48. The 17 front inch rim at the front with 195 width. Just little skinny boys just up there. And a 75 profile for the fronts. Looking nice in the two-tone with the black and purple. Really showing that white brake caliper through the middle there. Down at the back, very similar. Still a 17-inch rim, but it's 255 width. Just a bit more width on that rear tyre and only a 60 profile on there. Still looking beautiful, though, as we jump in. Before we jump in, I just want to see that engine once more because it looks so good. I love that engine. But let's jump inside, check out all this interior. We've gone for the 964 Porsche seats. They're looking good. Two-tone black and a bit of a white on there as well. Also black and white on that steering wheel. But I love the old school dash. Actually, I really love a lot of the white accents coming through from that paint job with the white base. That looks really good. Liking all of that. Looks absolutely fantastic. The classic black and white odometer in front of us there, or speedometer, should I say. I know what I'm doing. Honestly, this is what I do. But anyway, let's get this one started and hear that boxer engine. Not bad on the tick over there. Let's give it some gas. Sounding pretty mean at the top end. Hopefully it'll be alright when we get it onto the gravel track a bit later. Still trying to beat that Audi with a flying lap of 141.676. Can we do it today? I'm not sure yet, but let's head into the dyno, see what kind of power and drag rating this wonderful Beetle's got. Here we are then on the dyno with the Baja Beetle and its B6 engine. Only 112 factory horsepower on this one today. I don't think we will have added too much to this beast, but let's see what we've got and what its drag rating is. A gain of 90 horsepower, only 80%, not too bad. Still quite low, especially compared to the stuff we've done recently. But bringing us up to 201 horsepower for this wild off-road beast and a drag rating of C at 230. Not that we're going to need it, because we're taking this car around the gravel track, although I wouldn't recommend you guys do it at home. It's very stressful, and I've spent about 3 hours trying to get this car to get a semi-decent lap down. And I still can't answer that question, whether it's semi-decent or not. But let's get in. Here's the gearbox tune for today. I tried lots of different combinations to get this thing to go on the drag strip, on the gravel track, even remotely well, and none of them worked. The only thing was bringing the ratio all the way up to 6 and tweaking third gear ever so slightly down, just to give us a bit more higher end from that third gear. And officially, that's all I've done to it. I've tried with the ratio down here, up here, in the middle, gears turned all the way up, things like that. Nothing works. This is almost impossible to drive. You will see in a minute, even with this gearbox tune, which is very slow, in all honesty, it's still almost impossible to drive. Don't know what's going on with it. I'm blaming Payne. He doesn't know how to build off-road vehicles. That's my opinion. Did we have the last one? I can't remember what the last one was, but I had to go and mess around with that as well. This one, yeah, couldn't get it to work at all. But anyway, there's no ECU and no carburetors, so no tuning. But don't forget, I'll still put the links in the description below to the shorts where you can learn how to easily tune the ECU and the carburetor every time without fail. But now it's time for you all to laugh at my terrible driving ability in this god-awful Volkswagen Beetle Baja. Here we are then, on the gravel track by Bullet Tooth Tony. Link in the description below if you want to grab this one for yourself, although I don't advise taking the Baja Beetle around it. Anyway, let's see what we can do with this beast. I'm not even going to tell you the times we're trying to beat, because I know we're not even going to become close. So we're going to do a standing lap and a flying lap. You'll see all of the flying lap and only some silly mistakes from the standing lap. So let's just get on with it and let's see what this Beetle can do. Come on, little Beetle, off the line, straight, 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 and then we have to turn a little bit, and then that's all of the control for the rest of this racing are totally gone. This will never say straight ever again. So braking a little bit for the first hairpin as we nip up around to the left there and pull ourselves over the crest. Still fighting to keep this thing straight. It is so hard to drive. It is unbelievable. But there we go. 25 seconds nearly, and we're only into the second corner. Over the jump. Whoa, we lost control on the way out there. And let's nip it around the corner. I'm barely turning for any of these corners. I'm counter steering for most of it as we come up into the next hairpin, if I can keep it straight, which is just on the other side of this crest. I can't see the corner. I'm too busy trying to keep the car straight and not looking for my markers for the corners. There we go. Keep it going around. Tree. Whoa, we just about missed that one. Let's get around this final corner and into the final. I normally would say straight away, but in this car, nothing. Straight. Across the line, over 2 minutes. Crashed into a tree because I couldn't get the steering to work properly, but there we go. As we come up into the first hairpin corner, or the first corner, which is a hairpin to the left there, up over the hill. The car's still massively struggling. This is going to be even worse than our first run, I think. Mostly because of that tree, but also because we didn't have the speed getting up the hill. As we come down the hill into the second hairpin, nipping it around. There you go. Nice big turn. Trying to keep it as straight as we can. Letting off the accelerator every now and then, especially before the jump, because we definitely want that. Much better than the first lap, though. Up around the corner we go. Nice, and I'm not going to say easy, because that is definitely not a choice. Oh, I thought we were going to tail end into that tree then, but we just about got away with it. Come on, there we go. Into the third left-hand U-turn, whatever we want to call it, as we go around. Car's doing most of the work. Just a little bit of counter-steering from me there, trying to stop us from spinning out all the way. As we come around to the... Oh, nearly lost it and fell off the side there. Let's just get up around over the crest. Oh, tree. Over the crest and into this hairpin. The car nearly did all of the work for us then, with me literally having to do nothing, but we did have to counter steer it, so there we go. Into the narrow section. I nearly rolled it after saying on the first lap we shouldn't have to worry about that because we're not really going fast enough. Now it doesn't want to oversteer for me, but there we go. Up. There we go. As we're into the forest section, I don't know if we're doing better or worse than our first lap, if I'm being honest. I don't think it really matters. I don't even know if this one's going to get on the board. Well, it'll get on the board, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be in last place because obviously the board goes further than the board you can see. It's only the first 5. But anyway, let's keep going. Where are we? Too much time to talk. Trying to concentrate and it's not working. Let's keep going. That was a nice corner. Oh, there we go. Gone again. As we come around the last corner without killing myself. There we go. Into the straightaway. Watch out for the tree. And across the line. And it was slightly better than our first lap, but not by a lot. There we go. So our standing lap was 2 minutes and 9 seconds and 96 hundredths of a second, and our flying lap was 2 minutes and 8 seconds and 6 hundredths of a second. Definitely get it on the speeder board. I'm pretty confident it's in last place. So let's get back to the garage, see where it would go on that speeder board, the gravel track lap time board, and see if we can sell this Baja Beetle on for some profit. Well, there we have it. The engine looks beautiful. The car looks amazing. But yeah, just sadly not quite that good around the gravel track. But there we go. We managed the standing lap in 2 minutes and 9 seconds and 96 hundredths of a second, and the flying lap in 2 minutes and 8 seconds and 6 hundredths of a second, putting it dead last on the gravel track lap time board. But I did kind of already see that coming. Wasn't the best. The gear tune was almost impossible to do. So yeah, but there we go. Let's talk some facts and figures about this beautiful Beetle. I bought the car for 21,846 and could have sold it at a loss of 3,714. But we obviously did not do that in any way, shape or form. We spent a further 64,747 upgrading and modifying and tuning this Beetle. Although I feel like it was a bit of a failed effort. But there we go. It still looks good nonetheless. Might not be the best around the gravel track, but it looks incredible. With our total spend, 86,593. Is there some money to be made? Let's take a look. Well, there we have the Beetle all 100% finished. We're worried about profit now, though, because it wasn't good on the gravel track. I've said that a couple of times, but I'm sticking by it. 86,593 is what we spent tuning that engine from 112 to 201 horsepower, a gain of 80%. But can we make some profit? No. With a sale price of 83,030, leaves us minus 3,563 from the Volkswagen Beetle. That is disappointing, to say the least. You were terrible around the gravel track. I couldn't get you to tune properly, and you've cost me money. God damn you, Beetle. Never again. Probably will do again, because I do love a Volkswagen Beetle. But anyway, off you go, taking a loss. I feel like, is that the first loss we've had? The, like, genuine first loss? Let me know in the comments below if you can think of an earlier loss. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Let me know if you can remember one. But anyway, that's the Beetle gone. What have we got up next? Well, we're back to a law car for this next one. And I'm going to let you pick where you want to see this one taken around. Because, well, this is, let's get into it, the Hinata Kagura SX OVE edition. Don't know what that stands for, but there we go. It's in all right condition. Definitely seen worse, but we have seen better. Got it from the auction house, where we didn't get a good deal, but it wasn't far off. We bought it for 18,128, and we could sell it for 17,410, only losing out on 718, which is definitely better than our start with the Beetle. But there we go. The engine in this one is the i4 double overhead cam at 4x4. We can swap into the single overhead cam. Basically, I'm going to go with whichever one gives us the most starting power. That's the one we're going to end up with. So we're going to ignore this at the moment, because that might change. But anyway, this is a little beast, and it's 4x4, so it's a four-wheel drive, so we could take it around the gravel track. It's a bit of a race car vibe, so we could take it around the racetrack, or we could really throw the works at it and make this one an absolute drag beast. What do you want to do? Let me know in the comments below. But there we go, this beautiful car, absolutely love it. This is what we're going to be working on Wednesday. So make sure you join us back here on Wednesday for this beautiful, beautiful car. Where do you want to see it? Gravel track, racetrack, drag strip? Do let me know down in the comments. What did you think of the Volkswagen Beetle, the Baja Volkswagen Beetle that couldn't quite make it around the gravel track well enough? There we go. But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Always happy to hear them. Leave a cheeky little like. Share this video with some friends, family, anyone. Post it to an enemy if you really want to. Be weird, but there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end. It's one of the best ways you can support this channel. It's just watching the content that I make is the best way to support me. It really is, unless you want to financially give me some money, in which case I'll take that. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Have a beautiful day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.